This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Parker, Colorado. We are here on basically a special Sunday, I'd like to say, because it's Easter, but quite honestly, every Sunday is a special Sunday, it sounds like over here. I am here with the pastor of the Reverb Church at Parker. Basically, it's easy access up here, great parking outside, and the best part is you got a lot of energy in here. Very excited about a lot of things, be it Easter or what's going on inside. Pastor, let me ask you, what got you involved in the ministry, first of all?
What got me involved was I was playing volleyball, didn't want anything to do with God because I grew up with God being forced down my throat, and religion had taken its toll on me, and I didn't want any part of that. And I was experiencing a lot of pain in my body, and I was like, is God trying to get my attention? What's going on? And I said a prayer. I said, God, I don't know if you're real, but if you're real and you'll prove yourself to me, I'll do whatever you want, but please don't make me be a pastor or a missionary.
And wouldn't you know it, he works in mysterious ways, isn't that right?
Yes, sir, very mysterious ways.
You've got a church here that no church experience required, correct?
Correct, and no experience is required. We don't care if you've ever been to church. In fact, we probably prefer you've never been to church because you don't have all that baggage associated with it. And we just want people to experience God. It's a safe environment just to come as you are, dressed however you want to be.
It looks like you've got all ages that are basically involved here. You've got the elderly all the way down to the school children who are basically getting a little bit of Wi-Fi in the side room. Tell me about that.
Wi-Fi is crazy fun for our kids. We've got an amazingly talented team of young children, coordinators, ministry leaders. Wi-Fi is connecting our kids with God, kind of like Wi-Fi connects, and their whole purpose is to create an environment that when the kid walks into this church, they beg their parents the whole rest of the week that they want to come back, they can't get enough of it, and the parents begin to see all these things that are being taught put into practical motion throughout the week, like treat your brother better, what God has taught them, and kids go crazy over our Wi-Fi ministry.
Sounds like a whole different message than what you grew up with.
Oh, totally different. These kids will choose this over Disney World, as weird as that sounds.
Let me ask you, who are some of the other pastors you have involved here? Who are your youth pastors? Tell me about that.
We have Pastor Eddie Graber. He's co-pastoring with me. Our youth ministry is being led by Sarah Graber, and she does an excellent job. They've got the student lounge trying to take people who may not go to church once again, but they can just come in here and hang out. We've got the arcade, the PlayStations, all the televisions as you've seen around here. Just a really cool environment for that. We've got Pastor Rich McCart. He's our small groups connection guy. When you visit and you say, I want to get connected, I don't know anybody, I moved here, he'll plug you in with everybody. And then we've got Pastor Don Bates, who's our executive pastor, and he's the one that really helps us exact everything and the wisdom and experience.
Tell me about this great band that you guys have here that basically brings in the worship service up to all new high.
The noise band, there's no way to describe it except they're amazing. It's not what you would expect at church. They tour across the country. They've opened for humongous acts, played in front of 20, 30,000 people. So being in front of the small crowd of a church experience is a whole different venue. So someone can expect real music, not the traditional things that they're used to. And I think that's the cool thing. We have completely professional musicians who love God, and it shows.
And you know what? The church itself actually attracts them. There's no pressure at the front door, no pressure if you leave or stay. I notice you guys start on time, end on time, and you want to make sure that people want to come back.
Yes, that's the whole thing. We want to leave you wanting more instead of giving you so much that you never want to come back. And that's been our goal, is how do we have an environment where you can really come in, you can experience God, not religion, and as a result of that, your time's respected, and you want to come back the next week and you feel safe to invite your friends because you know what to expect.
Absolutely. Somebody out there possibly like yourself before that has never walked into a church, they want to experience God in a whole new way. What would you tell them?
Yeah, what I would tell you, if you are thinking about this whole God thing, if you want to get close to God, is just come out here. You can check out our website, reverbchurchatparker.tv. You can surf it, you can test drive church, you can see there's nothing funny or crazy. And if you will just come in here to this experience and give God a try once, we promise you, you will not be bored. It will be the most dynamic experience you've ever been to, and God will change your life.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm going to move on to the band now. Okay, guys, I'm here with the band now, basically in-house band. As you've seen some of the visuals out there earlier, these are the folks that get those people out of their seats and on their feet, filling them up with some great energy and great spirit. Let me ask you guys, what got you involved in music?
It's just my outlet for life, you know. I love music. I love praise and worship, actually. It's been my release to lose myself in it. That was a lot of what I did when I was little and how I kind of got involved.
And then what got you involved in the ministry part of it?
I've been playing in bands for quite a long time. To see so many people out there hopeless, needing some form of hope, some form of positivity in their life, and music is such a universal language that it speaks to people.
Brother here was jamming in the band, and he says, hey, it's time for you to get involved. What did you hope that you could bring to the group?
You know, initially when I came, I really just wanted to be a part of the ministry that was already involved there. There was some amazing leadership in place, and when God moved them out and Joe approached me about being the worship leader, I guess my vision is that as people come into church, that they are initially shaken a little bit about like, what is this? That when they walk in, it's not their usual church style, those walls that they might be coming in with, and it's enough of a shake to them that those walls kind of start to come down and they realize that we just have hope to offer them.
Are you guys doing your own original music?
Yeah. 100%. We write a lot of our originals, and we also throw some cover songs in there that people know to keep them interested.
If some of the viewers out there actually want to take a look at the band, does the band have their own website, or do you go to the Reverb Church website? Do you have downloads available?
We do. Go to the website. I think it'll just kind of lead you through the whole process of checking out new music from us.
Let me ask you, you guys have been doing this for some time. It kind of feels like you're the instrument of a higher power. Do you get to see a lot of excitement from this side of the stage compared to the other side?
It's always exciting on stage, but seeing the people respond to the music that we're playing is awesome.
Is it one of those things where sometimes you maybe not feel like coming, but the minute you hit that stage, you're like, I know what I was supposed to do today?
There's sometimes when on Sunday morning, getting up early, it's like, but once we hit there and we start playing and clicking together, it's just, it's pretty indescribable, man. It's awesome.
Well, folks, you got it all right there. Got the noise down here, and they're definitely making some noise here in the church, and they like that. They want you to walk in and kind of get your hair blown back a little bit and say, hey, this is nothing like we've ever experienced before. If they've done that and the Spirit makes you stand up, they felt they've done their job, plain and simple. I am now with the senior lead co-pastor, Pastor Eddie. We're here once again in Park. We've got a lot of energy going on behind us here. And let me ask you, Pastor, what got you involved in ministry first of all?
Well, I've been in this thing for 40 years. Grew up in Oklahoma, spent time in Texas, and so I came to Colorado, and we restarted this church 12 years ago. We did it as a church plant.
Let me ask you, have you seen a lot of changes in the past 40 years?
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of changes. I was youth minister till I was 40 in a couple of large churches in Texas and Arkansas. And so I've kind of kept that same spirit. I think just because you get a little older doesn't mean you have to get old.
Do you like the energy that your church gravitates to and attracts people?
It was basically a young church before Reverb joined with us. We made it one church. In the Parker area, we have mostly young families, and certainly we have some people my age here too. The energy's been here. The building's been redone. You've seen a lot of what we have here. It's pretty exciting.
I imagine that's got to be kind of tricky to a merger of a couple churches.
You know, it is tricky, and very few could do it. I met Joe several months back last year. One of the reasons I was interested in it is to have a successor, and I just didn't want to see the thing change without me having some hand in it, because we've planted the whole thing. Met Joe. We had a good relationship. He's a great young man. Therefore, that makes it easy on both churches.
I would imagine the combination of the two, it's got to be something that basically would benefit the people sitting in those chairs.
I think so, and Joe brings also a wealth of energy himself, and we've had a lot of contacts together, and our ministry paths, while we haven't crossed until now, we've been very, very close philosophically, doctrinally. We know a lot of the same people. It's just been pretty good.
You got it. Fantastic. Thank you, Pastor. I'm here with Pastor Rich, who is the Connections Pastor here at the Reverb Church at Parker. And basically, you've got a lot of energy going on here. It was Easter Sunday, but you know what? I think you guys have energy going on probably every Sunday. Is that right?
This is typical for every Sunday, not just Easter. This is how we roll every Sunday. A lot of energy. Obviously, the band starts it. This is what we want to do. We want to do every Sunday. We want to have this kind of energy and get people excited about what they're doing here.
Once people get excited like this and they actually feel welcome, I imagine that the relationships then open up.
People aren't going to open up to you until they know that they feel welcome, and they don't care about what you know until they know you care about them. So that's what we really try to do, is make sure that people know that we care about them and we love them, and that we're sincere with what we talk about, and that's when people are going to open up, and that's when real relationships are built.
How long have you been doing this type of connections ministry?
I've been doing it for about 3 years now. This is my second church plant. I love it. This is what I was supposed to do my whole life. It took me about 40 years to figure that out. I'm doing what I was meant to do. It's a goal of mine to make sure that nobody slips through the cracks. If they walk in the door of this church, then I want them to know that they're loved by us and by God.
I mean, we hear a lot of churches talk about that becomes their extended family, but it sounds like you guys are making that a reality.
Definitely, it's a reality. The most important thing is that we build relationships that last. I know the people that are here are friends that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. They're my family. If I have a need or if they have a need, then they call us. They call people in their small group, and it's an extended family. That's what we want it to be.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate that, Pastor. Folks out there, as you can see, you're definitely going to get some great music, some great ministry, but keep in mind also you're not one person all alone sitting there in a chair. You come on down, they're friendly, they're going to treat you great, and you make the decision from there. I'm now with the children's pastor, Nikki, who basically takes care of your youth out there who come to experience God. Tell me how you do that.
We're not afraid to do out-of-the-box thinking. Most children believe that being a Christian is just a Sunday thing, and it's really boring, but really God is a God of fun and craziness. Today we did a secular song. It's Bruno Mars. Most every non-saved person knows about it, but we flipped it in a way where now every time they listen to that song, they think about what Jesus did on Resurrection Sunday. Every time they think about it, they'll think about what sacrifice he made, and now that seed just keeps going and going and going, and they can tell their friends, oh, I learned this in children's church. The kids live it every single day and not just on Sundays.
I actually had one of the youth that I spoke with earlier say they actually learned something today. How's that make you feel?
It's great. I love that kids are learning something, and it doesn't have to be boring. You don't have to just sit there and be quiet. You can have fun, have cool games, and have a great time.
How long have you been doing the ministry, children's?
Started serving when I was 12 years old, but I've done children's ministry like as a pastor for about 5 years.
Have you seen a lot of progressions where you kind of just throughout the months you notice the kids start opening up a little bit?
One of my kids, Bo, when he first came, he had his dad sit with him because he was really quiet and really shy. And now, 6 months later, he's the one playing the games. He's the one saying the memory verse. He's the one doing the motions. We do crazy motions for worship. And it's just amazing how just being so shy, how we can open them up. And they're open to not just children's church, but to God, to what miracles they can do. His miracle is he prayed that his mom would come to church because his dad, he'd go every other Sunday. And now both his parents are divorced, and both his mom and his dad, they come on the same time. And it's just a miracle, and it's because he prayed. It's your faith that this is going to happen.
And the children, you probably get a lot of inspiration from them because they don't have the blockages as adults do.
They have that faith, that mustard-sized faith that grows so big. It's just amazing to see their faith grow and see God work miracles in their lives. And they know that it was him, not just a coincidence.
Once again, we are here in Parker, and I'm here with the internet pastors, the folks who basically make sure that the folks on the outside actually get involved just as much as the people on the inside. Looks like we're packing the house here locally, but as far as what you guys do, the sky's the limit. Is that right?
It's a worldwide audience that we're able to reach and touch when you have this online platform and you can broadcast to the entire world and spread the message of Jesus.
Does it sometimes blow your mind when you start seeing how many hits you're getting out there and new places or basically people that are chat on with you?
It's so incredible to see that it's people of all nations across the world. It's not just, one particular group. It's people from everywhere that are coming together and fellowshipping and hearing the Word of God.
Fantastic. And how does it feel to be using technology to spread the Word of God?
It's amazing. Like Jordan said, there's no cap to it. You can go as far as you want around the world, touch everybody with Jesus. It's amazing.
You're not just watching, you actually make it interactive because they're able to chat and get involved. Do people ask for prayer? How does that work?
Call them an experience. We always end every experience with a prayer request at the end. And there's so many people with tons of prayer requests and everybody out there just praying for them, and it's great.
Wow, fantastic. And so let me ask you guys, if people want to get involved out there, what are the times that they can actually tune in?
We do Tuesdays and Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. That's when we do our live broadcasts with the chat room. We have a ton of archives with old sermons and everything, so anything you're looking for that day, you can just go to the archives.
www.reverbchurch.com. There's going to be tabs at the top of the website that says, and there's one that says Online Church. You need a Facebook account so you can actually log in and interact with the entire community. If you just want to sit and just watch the message, you can do that too.
And guys, basically the website is at the bottom of the screen right there. And like he says, go to their Facebook, click on the like, and basically be part of the loop there. You can listen to the message pretty much every week. You can get involved by chatting on. And if you're here locally in the area, you can come on down and actually sit with the guys and enjoy a live service. Somebody out there who basically has never experienced God on the internet, what would you tell them?
It's a totally different experience. It's not, it's not church. You feel God. It's amazing.
You got it. What would you let them know?
Well, you don't have to worry about actually going to an actual church and feeling awkward in front of other people. You can sit and just watch and see what God is doing, and it doesn't matter if you're at church or if you're at home watching a message. God's still going to work through that message and change your life.
Once again, we are down here at the Reverb Church in Parker, and basically you can catch them here locally. Go to their website. You're going to see what their normal services are here. They basically don't care who you are or what your circumstances are. They're going to make sure that you feel welcome here, you feel connected, and when you're out and about traveling, you can even catch the message on the World Wide Web, because basically God is everywhere, internet or in person. Folks, this is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.